Well, raise your hand in the air if you are sick and tired of robocalls. Here we are. Some are scams, telemarketers, people wanting you to answer this survey. It only take a few minutes.
Just a few minutes.
Just a few minutes.
Everybody got a few minutes, right? Well, tonight, 5 on Your Side investigator Jonathan Walsh digs into 6 apps that claim they block those robocalls and which ones our staff members would or would not recommend.
I'm sorry, when did I inquire about a job? I don't think that happened.
I'm not going to give you any personal health information about my family.
You called me. I was just wondering why you called.
Not even the 5 on Your Side investigative unit
How did you get my phone number?
is immune
Is that a real company? If I Googled you guys right now, would that show up anywhere?
to robocalls, including yours truly.
I'm a little confused. I don't even have a car warranty.
For months, we kept track
You said this is not a telemarketing call?
and then decided, let's do an experiment. All, mind you, an unscientific test, but nevertheless, a search to stop these things.
How did you get my number, and why do you keep calling me?
We chose 6 apps that say they'll block the annoying calls.
I am downloading Robokiller.
Joe wanted in on our experiment because
I get at least half a dozen spam calls a day.
he got the Robokiller app, but we also tested Numbo, Haya, Nomo Robo, Call Control, and Call Blocker.
I would love to just even have half of the calls blocked.
Kelly has 2 phones, each on a different wireless provider, one for work and one for her personal use.
Almost all my personal calls are robocalls.
We asked our volunteers to try their app's free version for about 10 days. So, would they get those pesky calls at work like they have in the past? Hello? Hello? Hello?
You kind of have to answer it just in case it is a legitimate call.
Ian had the Call Control app.
It does give you a lot of notifications, basically encouraging you to subscribe to the full service.
He says he did notice a bit of a decline in the calls, but would he approve of it?
I would recommend it for people who do get so many robocalls that they're actually looking for a paid solution.
Another person on our staff says the Numbo app still let 3 calls get through during our testing and that it was hard to tell if it was working. As for the Haya app, our reviewer says before the app, he constantly got robocalls. During the app, some still got through, so he questioned if another app would stop the calls better.
I actually, for most of the week, logged when I got calls.
Kelly wrote down the calls she received, even with the Call Blocker app. The app allows you to put in a number that may or may not be a call you want.
The ones that turned out robocalls, I put that number into their system, and almost every time it said that call was safe to answer.
So, in the end, would she keep the app?
I am going to delete it from my phone because it didn't do anything for me.
Meanwhile, with the Nomo Robo app, our volunteer said she still got 10 robocalls during the experiment, and she would not recommend it.
What was your name again?
And remember Joe with the Robokiller app?
Did it kill the robos?
I think it showed mercy because it did not kill all of the robos.
He tells us the app killed about half the robocalls. The app has a unique strategy that plays a recorded message back to the spam callers, pretending to be talking to them live.
You ever feel like you're running through the woods, butt naked, and you just feel nature in your bones?
I actually enjoyed it because I liked listening to the messages later on because it would capture these amazing moments in call center frustration.
He gives Robokiller a half and half recommendation, but
I don't think I'd necessarily pay for it to actually block my calls.
in the end, some apps helped, but not one was a silver bullet to fend off robocalls.
I'm not going to answer any of your questions.
How they hung up. Very surprised.
Shocker. They hang up.
I'm 5 on Your Side investigator Jonathan Walsh.